Deflector space warps, as I've said previously in this DVD, are the second half of the collision system within particle flow. The first half was the collision test, which we covered in the previous chapter. So, let's have a quick look at where the deflector space warps are and how to link them up with our flow. Okay, so you can see I've got a basic scene here in Max. I'm just going to go to standard primitives, and I'm going to go down to particle systems, particle flow source. We need a source for our particles, so I'll just draw that there. I'll move it up so it's actually above our plane, and then I'm going to actually create the space warp straight away. So I'm going to go down to space warps. This is in the creation panel, and you can see it's on deflectors already. The first set is actually forces. The second set is deflectors, which are the ones we're interested in, and I'm actually going to just pick a selection of different deflectors so we get an idea of how they work. I'll have a plane which actually goes right up to this line here, and I'll have it stop there. I'll use an S deflector, which is short for spherical deflector, and that's just a parametric object, which is a sphere, and I'll create that here. Let's just move that maybe a little bit over here. There we go. Actually, I'll just look from above so we get the placement bang on. Let's move this over here. There we go, and the plane's actually fine. Okay, so there are objects, and the last thing I'll actually create is a teapot. So I'll just go up to standard primitives, teapot, and I'll put that here. There we go. Back down to space warps. I'm going to pick a U deflector, place it here. There we go. And the U deflector actually allows you to use any piece of geometry as a deflector. But obviously, the more complex the geometry, the slower it is. So we'll keep this teapot quite simple, and I'll pick that teapot. There we go. So now we have the three basic deflectors in our scene. We have a S deflector here, a deflector, and a U deflector. Now, there is another set of space warps called the omni deflectors, and they actually have some more options. And in those, the equivalent is called a P omni deflector for this one, which stands for planar. So really, they should have actually called this one a P deflector rather than actually just deflector, just to keep the naming system the same. But you actually have an S omni deflector, as you have a spherical deflector here, and you also have this is called a U deflector, and that's the U stands for universal. You also have a U omni deflector as well. So let's have a look at actually how they all work. I'll just move it over here so we can see particle view when I open it up. There it is. We've got a basic flow. If I actually let the flow go, let's just move this up here a bit so I can scrub. You can see the particles come down and they just keep on going forever. Just change the speed slightly. This is a little bit slower. There we go. It's a little bit more sedate. And now what I want to do is I actually want to create some collisions. So it's actually quite possible to have the collisions in more than one test in your scene. So let's actually do that first, just to show that you have that kind of flexibility. We'll actually create 3 separate collisions here. And what I'm actually going to do is, if I create 3 more events, and we'll just use display events for that. There's 1, 2, and 3. Just go into zoom mode and zoom out a little bit. Okay, there we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wire up each one of these to a different display event. There we are. And you can see they've all got different colors. This one's yellow, this one's a kind of maroon, and this is a kind of mustardy color. And the first collision, I'm going to add the spherical deflector. And actually what I'll do is, just to make it a bit clearer, don't know if I can actually do it. Let's get rid of the zoom. Let me just move this wire over here so it's a bit clearer what's going on. And I'll actually move this over here as well. And move this up here so we can actually get a better idea of what's going where. Okay, so our first collision test is going to the S deflector, and that's been sent over here to the yellow. The second one